The master of memes, the cosplaying genius, the problem-solving student. Sneaky is one of the most entertaining streaming personalities in the entire esports scene. But he was once far more than that. Today, fans might remember the greatness of Sneaky off the Rift more than they remember his greatness on. But make no mistake, Sneaky is one of the greatest North American players to ever play this game. Originally named Sneaky Castro, Sneaky bounced around the amateur scene after impressing in solo queue. But his real story began when he joined Quantic Gaming in 2013. The team qualified for the NALCS Summer Split, but he quickly joined Cloud9 as a part of a roster acquisition between the two organizations. And with that acquisition came the original legendary C9 roster that started it all. Balls, Meteos, High, Lemonation, and of course, Sneaky. The team dominated the Summer LCS qualifier tournament and entered the LCS guns blazing.
They're gonna have to do something similar here.
Oh, balls. He's gonna. Oh my gosh! Holy crap! Kiwi Kid's HP is gonna get zeroed out here.
Big Fed LP to secure the kill.
Here comes Cloud9.
The counter gank is on High, and Meteos are gonna take this one to the skies as they dive in there. Jarvis slides to safety. Meteos has got the wither down. One or two more attacks. That's him dropped.
So long. But this Baron fight is gonna happen soon. Meteos, no problems going in.
And there we go, the jump in from Satan is going to be on top of everybody right now, puts down the Maelstrom, but there's the re-engage, and the reset's coming up, Voivo's going to go down.
It was clear from the moment they touched the Rift on the big stage, they were the best, by far. Cloud9 took home a first place finish in the regular split with an LCS record 13 game win streak and another record 25 total regular season wins. The new, fun-loving, creative, and entertaining kids on the block quickly unseated the old veterans of the league. The team finished with a 30-3 record when counting the regular season and playoffs. Expectations were immense. This hot new team dominating a region like nothing we had seen up to this point. Fans expected great things, but their first appearance on the international stage ended in defeat as Cloud9 fell 1-2 at the hands of Europe's best, Fnatic. But C9 wasn't an org that would simply lay down after a loss. The Battle of the Atlantic. The clash of North America and Europe, and the Cloud9 and Fnatic rematch. This time, C9, off the back of impressive performances from High, secured a 2-0 victory, and they followed that up with another dominant run in the LCS. Looking at the story so far, one may wonder where Sneaky fit into this whole scenario. He seems rather invisible. And really, when we look at this part of Cloud9's history, he kind of was. Much of Cloud9's success was attributed to High's incredible shot calling and Meteos' resource-heavy jungle style. Even Lemonation and his notebook received more notoriety than the performance of the team's AD carry. But that would all change very soon. High. From afar, the unquestioned leader and face of Cloud9. Without him, the team was a shell of itself. The team's all-star event run miraculously started out well, but came to a screeching halt against OMG. It was clear the loss of the team's captain was too hard to overcome, and despite recovering in the summer split, past rivals had caught up. TSM defeated Cloud9 in the finals, reclaiming the LCS throne. Worlds was possibly the greatest achievement of this iconic League of Legends squad. After an impressive group stage, C9 found themselves matched up against one of the two tournament favorites, Korea's Samsung Blue. Cloud9 did what they did best.
It is High that's keeping around. Oh, he's separated. He's in trouble. Catches the stun. Dodges out of the death sentence. But he's in also trouble. In comes the team. Sneaky comes around. Gets himself another. He's going to keep on going. Death falls down. He goes down. Meteos gets away. Leaps to safety. And Cloud9 the kill.
Balls in the back there. He might just fall into Akon. He's burning. It flashes away. Get out of it. And it's a triple kill. Akon's won. But it's going to be a quadra for Sneaky. He's
not only did they take a game off Blue, but they were very close to taking 2. At this time, such a feat by a Western team would have been inconceivable, especially a North American team. It was a great send-off for this version of the roster, and it was the start of something new for all the members, particularly Sneaky. Nothing better to demonstrate that superstardom than his performance at IEM San Jose.
Meteos comes in, Sneaky picks up the kill, Leiko trying to catch on towards him, good kick away, Ole now in trouble, does manage to get the ultimate down just off the side there, we see Lacti coming in, can they get the damage down? Lacti could clean up here, Leiko on him, tries to put the damage back on, and one more shot should do it, Sneaky taken solo, Sneaky with the quadra, will he get the penta? Oh, he does, but it's quickly countered, Meteos gets in, there gets the triple.
Works bottom.
Oh, he's gone for elimination. That may well be enough. Flashes away from it. Does manage to get a quick skirt. Oh, not enough. Rectus. Shot's got to take the exhaust. Completely.
Sneaky capped it off in the finals with an iconic moment to stamp his new place on this roster.
There is the knockup from the ultimate of Hilisang. Vizichachi is in the middle as well, but the damage onto him is massive. Sneaky will get the first one. Kikis is low. He was hooked in there by elimination, and that means a 2 for 2 right now at least. But Sneaky, still alive, will blast down Power of Evil, and will probably get Hilisang as well. And it will be the pentakill that will surely win Cloud9, the Intel Extreme Masters. Here in San Jose.
He wasn't Sneaky the fun guy that team fights pretty well. He was a true carry player and one of the best AD carries the West had to offer. Unfortunately for Sneaky, his monstrous performance at this tournament didn't easily translate at IEM Katowice and later in the LCS.
North American League of Legends Championship Series Spring Split champions.
Cloud9 struggled to find their footing, and you can see it was because some team members had noticeably regressed. It was time. The captain finally leaves the ship, and the true end of the OG C9 squad. After replacing High with Incarnation, the team struggled mightily. After 5 weeks of poor performances, the team finally subbed out Meteos for High. It was a strange period in Cloud9's history where the team was struggling to detach its identity from that of its 5 most iconic OG members. But the voice of reason throughout the carnage, or in this case the carry of reason throughout the carnage, was Sneaky.
There's the jumper to the side. Woodball buys a lot of time, and Gate gets jumped on by Sneaky the same. Now elimination trying to run away, very low on health. Zeke's Harbinger is on, and that's a couple of kills picked up with the 2 for 1. Impact's the next one. That's a huge fight. A quadra for Sneaky comes through. Holy cow, Cloud9.
Although the team failed to qualify for playoffs, it was Sneaky's heroics that secured the team a spot at the World Championships. In the regional qualifiers, the baby-faced AD carry went off, and not with his signature Ashe supportive style either. Sneaky went 3-1 on Vayne and 2-0 on Draven in 3 best-of-5s. And against Team Liquid in the final qualifier match, he was the MVP.
A trip to the World Championship for Cloud9!
And Lemon Nation almost can't believe it. From 7th place in the regular season to Worlds, Cloud9 makes the run all the way through the regional qualifier, and their last series is their best one. 3-1, they're in Worlds.
In short order, Sneaky had quietly become the rock, the veteran, and the carry C9 desperately needed in this trying transitional period. He was that guy. At Worlds, the heavily written off C9 squad made miracles happen in the first week, starting 3-0 in groups against the likes of Invictus Gaming and the perfect 18-0 split Fnatic. But their second week of competition left a lot to be desired, and helped grow the meme of NA's second week at Worlds. The 2016 and 17 season only brought about more roster shuffles. At this point, Cloud9 had identified that using High as a temporary band-aid would not help them contend on the international stage, which was their ultimate goal. They brought in players like Impact, Rush, and Bunny Fufu in the top jungle and support positions, replacing Sneaky's longtime support partner Elimination. As time passed, High, Meteos, and Smoothie also found themselves making their way in and out of the lineup. Through it all, Sneaky remained a stalwart in team fights. And despite the criticism of his laning prowess from his fellow competitors, Sneaky's ability to play alongside so many different support players and remain a threat demonstrated his stability to the C9 organization. And at 2016 and 17 Worlds, Cloud9 found themselves in tough groups, but both times found a way to make it past. In an era where NA super teams like TSM continued to disappoint, C9 found a way to get it done. However much of it was luck we can't say, but Sneaky's C9 teams always somehow found a way to at least appear competitive on the international stage. Although they were eliminated easily in 2016 by Samsung Galaxy in the quarterfinals, their 2017 quarterfinal matchup against China's WE went down to the wire.
Very aggressive.
And the down is got him! Sneaky gets a kill! They're gonna go for two! Mystic! No summon is left! Sneaky outplays them!
Sneaky had his fair share of standout moments against one of the LPL's best teams in AD carries in Mystic. Although it wasn't enough to win the series, C9 pushed them all the way to 5 games, showing a steady improvement in the team's performances. All they needed was a little bit more, a small push to take them over the top. The 2018 season started with big additions. Rookie top lane talent Licorice and veteran Sen Scarin joined the team. Despite mixed fan reactions to the new pickups, C9 performed incredibly well throughout most of its split. That is, until the very last day of the LCS, where they fell all the way back into 5th place and was forced into a quarterfinal matchup against Team Liquid. It was a quick and painful 3-0 loss for Cloud9. The team's defeat and supposedly poor attitude behind closed doors led to multiple key benchings, including the departure of Sneaky for the first time in C9 history. Coach Reaper's gamble to reignite the passion of his star players through an unexpected benching was off to seemingly a horrific start. After 5 weeks, C9 was sitting in 10th place. Perhaps it was all part of some plan after all. C9 reinserted Jensen, subbed in Blabber for the rest of the summer season, and put back in Sneaky as well. With the team back together, they roared all the way back into 2nd place. They then defeated longtime rival TSM in a nail-biting 5-game series with incredible moments.
It's a 3-0!
They have the minions, they can end the game. I think C9 have done it. They are going to go to the finals.
With the subs, make it a 2-0 to close out the series. A very small wave in front of the Nexus. The Kragas will separate, going for turret number 1. Sven and Miffy must defend against Cloud9 as the second turret falls. The respawn's in 15 seconds, and they've done it. Sven scared and Golden Glue complete it. It's the 3-2 victory.
But the finals were a different story. It seemed even a newly motivated or angered C9 and Sneaky could not overcome the giant that was Double Up in Team Liquid.
The next is open. There is no defense. Sven Scared shows up, but the base will fall. Back-to-back sweeps. TL's the best team in North America.
Once again, C9 and Sneaky would have to play second fiddle to Doublet as he had become accustomed to for so long now. Then came Worlds, a time for redemption, a time for rewriting old narratives. Sneaky in lane, Sneaky worse than Doublelift? Not in this tournament. After making their way through the play-ins, Cloud9 was seeded into the group dubbed that year's Group of Death. They faced off against Europe's Vitality, Korea's Gen G, and tournament favorite, China's RNG. But against all expectations, Cloud9 took 4 crucial wins throughout the group stage. A loss in the tiebreaker match against RNG sent them into the quarterfinals as the group's 2nd seed, but it was already an incredible achievement for the squad. In the quarterfinals, they found themselves matching up against Korea's Afrika Freaks. Although not the most dominant Korean team in history, it was still C9 that were the underdogs. However, C9 were never fearful of the challenge, and neither was Sneaky.
Though, folks, because Spirit on the Gragas just went
He's not 6! Tucson really low, this could be a time and a kill, and he's got him! Sneaky, a solo kill under the 10. Knockdown Tucson, 1-0. Explosive cast brings in, and that's gonna be 1 kill picked up, a 1-for-1 so far. The revival coming out soon for Licorice, but it's already keep dropping as C9 are up 2-1 in this team fight. Flash forward, caught Mosley, but he's turning back on. This time's gonna mean he cannot find Jensen. By Tucson, they're gonna find the way in though, the Oran's gonna come across, and the knockups are there. Is
clean up the map, and the last vestige of Korea has been destroyed. Cloud9 will make it to the semifinals. A 3-0 sweep, the first time in 7 years. Cloud9 in the top 4 at Worlds.
In quite possibly his greatest performance ever, Sneaky completely dominated the Freaks from minute 1. He was clearly the best player on the Rift, and the main deciding factor in Cloud9 beating a Korean team 3-0. For the first time since the Season 1 World Championship, our North American team would make the semifinals of Worlds, and it was in large part thanks to this Justin Bieber-looking memer that also happened to play AD carry. Unfortunately for C9 and Sneaky, the momentum and glory was short-lived. The Battle of the West failed to live up to expectations as the team lost maybe their best chance of making a world final. Still, looking back at this tournament, it was undeniable that it was a major triumph, and it was undeniable that Sneaky was a player that you could win with on the biggest stage. Whatever the narratives back in NA, he was as good as any NA player in history on the international stage when it mattered most. Speaking of those narratives in NA, Sneaky continued to perform at a high level the next season, following his impressive Worlds performance.
But Sneaky is a machine, and he's able to find a double. Zazel allows the push to continue as a follow will fall. It's a triple for Sneaky. They might find even more. He needs another auto attack in the quadra.
He was awarded a spot on the All-Pro second team, only the first time he made the list since his debut and since it was tracked. And after taking a commanding 2-0 lead over the TSM Super Team in the semifinals, it seemed as though it was all but C9's era in the LCS. But in reality, it was Sneaky's last glimmer.
Make it 4! Niski stands alone, and TSM will stake the end of the game right now. Niski tries to fight, but 5 versus 1 is not good odds. It started rough. They made the reverse sweep happen. And TSM...
The team was tragically reverse swept by TSM in the semifinals. And summer was no different as the team once again lost to Team Liquid in 5 games. Despite Sneaky and the team's successes on the international stage, it was clear that in NA, they simply weren't the best. I mean, they weren't the best for a while now. The only thing holding Sneaky's untouchable legacy together at this point was the team's constant success on the international stage. So when that falls, everything else does. In 2019, Sneaky became the first player to qualify for Worlds 7 years in a row. And for 7 years, he had always found a way to defy expectations both as a player and as a team, miraculously outplaying players that were seemingly better than him and finding ways to get out of groups. This time, that was not the case. C9 and Sneaky himself fell apart. The team failed to make it out of groups for only the second time in the LCS era. In the offseason, C9 announced they would be replacing Sneaky with Sven. A tragic day for C9 and really any fans around the world. It was the end of the longest tenured member of C9 and the longest standing member of any one organization in LCS history. He did remain with the team as a part-time streamer and owner, entertaining thousands with his old teammate and old rival turned hysterical friend. The rumors of returning to pro play were there, but ultimately it never came to pass. And at this point, looking at how much Sneaky enjoys doing what he does, he'll likely never return to pro play. And so if he doesn't, what to remember him as? Sneaky had an innate ability to step up to the challenge when counted on. His impressive career KDA of 4.9 and win percentage of 63.9 across NA and international tournaments are both incredibly impressive and emblematic of his career as a whole. He was an underappreciated, underrated member of NA and Cloud9. He helped build one of the strongest organizations the West had ever had, both in play and fan base. He may have played second fiddle to other AD carries like Doublelift throughout his domestic career, but I don't know if I'd rather have Doublelift over Sneaky on the international stage. He was one of the best AD carries to play in NA, one of the greatest personalities the league scene has ever had, and one of the big reasons NA was ever worth watching. And he's also why people still have such fond memories of the LCS to this day.